Hello everyone. In today's video, we are going to see how to use Isclone function within a flow. This is a latest release feature from Salesforce which is available as part of Winter 23. So for this, we have got a specific use case. In accounts, I have got two record types. So let us go and see what it is. So when I go to accounts and when I click on new, you can see I'm getting actually two options. One is standard and one is premier. So let me select standard and let us proceed to create this account. So let us populate all the required fields. I'm naming it as demo account. And we have created a special field within account called primary contact, and let us populate that with a test contact, and let me save this. And once the account is created, I will have an option to convert this as a premier account with using the standard feature called change record type. So let me click on this and change record type of this demo account as premier account. But when we create premier account, the difference is that the custom field, which is the primary contact we created in account, is not available for premier account. It is just available for standard account only. But here are some additional required fields for premier account. So let us populate all those and save this. So we need to select the active checkbox, active pick list value also, and let me save this. Now the demo account that we created got converted as a premier account, and if you go to details, you can see the primary contact is not available. And if you open this, if you go to the developer console and query for the primary account value, primary contact value, you can see the primary contact is populated. Now what we are going to do is, I would like to clone this demo account and create a new primary account. For that, you can see I have added clone, but by default account does not have the standard clone feature available. For that, I basically created a clone custom button and added that to the page layout. You can see the details of clone button here. This is a URL based button, and when I go back to the demo account that I just created, I'm trying to clone this and I'm naming it as demo account new, and I'm saving this. Now when I go to the query and try to execute the query again to see if the new account is having primary contact populated, let us execute the query. You can see that primary contact is empty. This is because of the standard clone behavior. That is, if you clone a particular record, only the fields that are available in the page layout will be getting populated with the values from the source account. So now my requirement is that I would like to copy the primary contact to the newly created account also. So since the Isclone function is not available within the flow, the traditional option is that you can do that utilizing account trigger. So this is a very simple account trigger that we can write, which is before insert. That is, before an account is getting created, you can check if this is a cloned one, and if it is a cloned one, I am adding putting all the details to a particular map which contains the source ID and the newly created account. Then I can execute a query to fetch the primary contact of the parent or source account, and I will be able to copy that to the newly created contact. This is how in a trigger you will be able to implement this. Now let us see using a flow how you will be able to implement the same. I have a newly created flow available here called account clone. Currently it is not active. That's why you are not able to see like the value is getting populated, even the trigger was not active. So what configurations we need to do to implement the same feature within a flow. So like you can see, the selected object is account, and the trigger is going to fire when a record is getting created. And you can see I have used a function Isclone, which is Windows 23 release feature, and you can see this is an after operation. Later I will be telling you, like, why I was not able to select fast field updates. Instead of that, I have to use an after flow trigger. Now, since we have set the initial criteria, the next step that we are going to do is we are going to assign this particular record to a list. And after this, what you need to do is you need to get the parent source ID of the newly created account. But the problem is that within the flow, you don't have a function available to get the clone source ID. For that, what I am going to do is I have got an Apex action which is going to give you the source ID back when you are passing the account details. So from the flow, I am going to pass the account, and within this it is going to fetch the account clone source ID, and it is going to return the parent ID. That's what this particular function is going to do. And I will be calling that Apex action from my flow, passing the current record. You can see I'm passing the record ID. And I got a get record function here. So this is going to fetch the contact of the parent source account. And in the next step, we are going to perform update account action by assigning the primary contact of newly created account with the value from the parent. This is how this flow is going to get executed. So let me activate this and see if this is working fine. So you might be wondering why this is an after flow. That is because you won't be able to call an Apex action from a before flow. So I had to depend upon after flow. Now I have activated it. So let us go back to the demo account, the initial one that we created, and let us try to clone that again. So this is the demo account, and let me click on clone and name it as with primary contact and save this. So this is the ID. Let me go back to the console and try to execute the query again, and let us see now if we have primary contact populated. Now yes, you can see that primary contact is populated, but compared to the trigger, the difference with the flow is that you cannot execute everything within the flow. You need to depend upon again Apex to execute the complete operation, and this is going to be an after execution, so it is going to consume one more DML to complete the update on the child contact. Thank you so much.